What's up? Got a Sixleaf here. Yeah, this is a Sixleaf SL-16. It's in D2 steel, and I am fortunate enough that I have one, two, maybe a couple of these, and I also have the same version that's full titanium, and I believe it's M390 steel. Yeah, and boy, is that knife cool. Yeah, it's awesome. But I have a couple of these lower grade models with the steel liners, G10 backspace. Got wonderful milling in the G10. Really deep, really sharp. And both versions, the upgraded version and this one, are wonderful button locks. Yeah, these just work really nice. Very compact, good ergos in the hand. Um, so I was able to pick this one up on the secondary market. It's super cheap because it's got this crud on the blade. Okay, and they listed it as rust, and now that I have it in hand, I'm gonna say that I agree that it's rust. It's got rust specks on it. My guess is that that was food, potentially blood. Now, I will say that I've already ultrasonic this knife. I stuck it in an ultrasonic because I didn't know if it was blood, so I didn't handle it. I cleaned it with super hot ultrasonic water with soap, and I have put it back together for the video, which is crazy because, of course, I'm going to take it back apart. Because what I'm going to try next is I'm going to stonewash that blade, and it's got like a bead blast finish on it. So I'm not sure what the stonewash is going to bring, but that's the goal of this. But look at this action, man. It's got drop shut action, centered blade, and just locked up super tight. It's got great ergos, front, forward. It's a little chunk of a piece, but it's a good one. It's got them nice steel liners on the inside that have been skeletonized. There, you can see it in there. So it's fairly lightweight, but it is a little chunk. And so I think I saw it and I thought, well, if I could clean that up, it's a worthy little piece because I like it. I like the titanium version. And like I say, I have a couple of this G10 version. And that neon green, I don't hate it. Yeah, I don't hate it. All right, well, let's get this blade off of here. And then we'll take a break. I'll tumble it and we'll come back and we'll reassemble and see where we land. Everything on this knife is already cleaned up and good to go. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time or really any time on any of that. The pocket clip's got amazing tension on it. We may check it in once I tumble that blade. Just for giggles, to see how good it actually is. It's got T8 hardware all the way around. Even on these pocket screws, these little cap screws, T8s. It's got great tension on the pocket clip. I think I said that already. The bummer is if I had some in my collection, it would take this rust right off of here because they're so acidic and bitter, but that would be leftist tears. Right? Yeah, if I had some of those tears, I could just dip this in it and it would take that rust right off of there. Yeah, ridiculous. Bottom of the food chain, man. Yep. All right. Well, I'm going to leave the rest of that be. And I am going to pull these thumb studs because they've got like a satin finish on it. So I don't think I want to mess that up. So I'm going to get me a cloth. And I'm going to put it over the top because I may have to hold both sides. Let's see. That felt like it's loose already. Yep. Yeah, nice thumb studs. I'm glad I don't have to beat them up. I like them. All right. So I'm going to tumble this blade. Now, when we do that, will we dull up the logos? Probably. I mean, most definitely, I'm thinking we will, and potentially will affect this action because, of course, where that button, that plunge lock, locks up right there, that's probably going to get smoothed over a little bit. So we'll see. I guess I could tape. Let me see. I think maybe I'll do that. I'll tape across here, right at this flat. Let me do that and I'll show you what it looks like before I tumble it. Okay, final look before it goes into the tumble. When we come back, this will be coming out of the tumbler and all of this will be gone because I'll go until I have eradicated it all. Yeah. All right. And then, of course, we'll have to resharpen the knife. It does feel pretty sharp. And looking at it, I'd say that's a factory edge. So somehow it got something on it, and then it was left to sit with that on it. And so it etched it and rusted it. So, anyways, let's go ahead and get her done. Okay. Man, let's finish this thing up. So I tumbled it some more, and then I put a hand finish on the spine. And yeah, I'm finally satisfied with where this is at. So I'm going to put it back together. Yeah, I mean, the logo's still there. It's definitely been stonewashed. Same with the badging over here. But I think it looks great. And so I'm excited to get it back together, which is what I'm going to do right now. Yep. And yeah, so today is the day after the assassination of Charlie Kirk. Yep, the day after. And yeah, what an interesting last day or so. I know I have my perspective on the whole thing, and I think that it's not 100% understood. The word politics keeps coming up a lot, and I think I'll kind of throw out there that I'm not into politics. It's not about politics for me at all. Left, right, center, moderate. I don't, my take on politics is pretty solid in that I think all politicians, for the most part, are corrupt. I think what happens is you start out with a great ideology to help people or create fairness or justice in a political system, and inevitably you become the thing that you start out to fight. I think it's the nature of that game. And, I also think that, the philosophy of absolute power corrupts absolutely, that kind of thing. I think I subscribe to that thought process. Anyways, yeah, so crazy times, and Um, so my take on the whole thing, my my thoughts and feelings about the whole idea, the problem that I have with it, um, is is that Charlie was killed for being a Christian, and I guess I feel the same way as a Christian as when I've seen the heads of Christians being taken in the Middle East. You know, I have the same response to it. Um, I know that my responsibility as a Christian is to love everybody, and I think Charlie Kirk knew that as well, and I believe he tried to live that. I think he had a sense to love all human beings, but that love doesn't transcend the truth. Boys can't be girls. No matter how many surgeries you get, you're not a girl. It just is what it is. Now, you may want to dress up like one. May live your life feeling like one. But listen, transvestite's been around forever. It's nothing new. And what do I care if you dress up like a girl? I don't. I don't think Charlie did either. Pretty sure he expressed it on a regular basis. How you want to pretend and play and do that, that's your business. There. And it's got nothing to do with homosexuality or any of that either. What you're doing in your bedroom, again, what do I care? It's none of my business. I don't care. I may need to take that blade off to tighten that thumb stud. No, I think I got it right there. Yep. Yeah, what a great little knife. It's a little chunker, and it's a budget piece. I mean, they didn't ask a lot for these, but man, they're awesome. And of course, the titanium version is off the charts, man. Very cool. Yep. So I think the final result, taking care of this rust and cleaning up this blade turned out wonderfully. So now I'm going to hit it over here on my belt sharpener and get this thing with a whistling edge. Now I will say, looking at this plunge that's on here, it's way up here with the edge being back here. So I don't think there's any way that I can sharpen this without getting into this plunge lock. And then I noticed that the tip is going to have to be pointed as well. So let me work on that and I'll be right back. Okay, well, I put like a medium edge on it. It's not like highly polished or anything. And I did bring this tip back to life. A little bit of profiling work and Let's see how we did. It's fairly thick blade stock, and it's D2, and so I put more of a work edge on it than like a slicey edge, but turned out nice and sharp, and yeah, solid. I don't think these are available anywhere, so I'm not really gonna look. But if you found them, I don't know, 50, 60 bucks, D2, G10, steel liners, nice little button lock, very cool. The action on it, I mean, it's A-level. Fits well in the hand, reverse flick, thumb flick. You can use that little fuller that's in there as well. I say that. There it is. And I think I can get it there with my thumb as well. Or you can use the button. Yep. Pretty solid. Ergonomics. I mean, it's not sacrifice for some choke up. I can just get 4 fingers on it and then my thumb. So nice slicey. I mean, just a cool little utility knife, really. I mean, tough knife. Let's see. Reverse grip. Yeah, I can cap it with my thumb. And then, maybe a half of a bonus check. I can get here. And I'd rather be here than here, me personally. But good ergonomics. The pocket clip disappears. It's not hot in the hand. And speaking of that pocket clip, my spot in the back pocket, it's a bit of a chunker, but it could go back there. Basically disappears. The pocket clip's kind of polished up, chromy, so it is going to catch the eye. If somebody's scanning you, they'll it's going to definitely draw attention to itself. But even on the thick stuff, this thing runs like a dream, and it's got dryer retention. You could take these, throw them in the dryer, tumble them around for 20 minutes. When you pulled them out, this knife would still be right there. Yep, great retention on that clip. I dig it. No contact with the blade through the back of the scales, and the tip is nicely recessed. So tip's good, clip is good, and I can handle this knife any way I want as long as the blade's closed, and that button provides a nice snappy little detent on the bottom of the knife. Blade is centered. The old controversial spine whack. It's not controversial to me, but I don't know. And then we already checked the sharpness. So, yeah, pretty cool little piece, man. SL-16, D2, G10 version. And, to me, it's a good example of you can pick up a knife in used condition, and with a little bit of effort, you can end up with a pretty cool piece. I don't know. Should I sell it? Should I keep it? What I may do is keep this one and then sell one of the new ones that I have. Because this one's plenty, man. If I wanted to put one of these in my pocket, this is it right here. Yep. All right. Well, hey, so wrap up my rant. Listen, the day after, I mean, we're remembering the people that met their demise on September 11th. And when the towers were falling and firemen were rushing in and police officers were rushing in, absolute heroes, considering others above themselves. And then this terrible thing with Charlie Kirk, man. I mean, assassinated for having a difference of opinion. Had no power other than his words and was killed for it. Yeah, it's pretty tragic, man. And I do think that it has inspired me to be a little more bold with my truth here on this channel. I can say with all honesty, off of this channel, I walk out my faith pretty strong. And I'm not sure why. I think it's just the nature of it. I was encouraged to not address these things on my YouTube channel, to stick to this. And in the end, does this matter? Or does this matter? And for me, this matters above all things. It's, I mean, my priorities are absolutely stacked, God, family, self, and then other things that fall below that and various levels. And so I just think that going forward, it's going to be part of what I do here. And if you don't dig it, I get it, step. I mean, when I dropped that video yesterday, I mean, subscribers, they jumped. And you know what? That's okay. I mean, I wish they I guess, like Charlie, I wish him the best. I want nothing but the best for those that bailed, and I hope that at some point they find their way to be able to bend their knee to Christ. Um, but I don't have any control over those things. All I can do is say what I say and try to walk it out in my life. Um, do I hate even the person that pulled the trigger? No, no. Honestly, hate is a wasted space, man. Does nothing for you. Clearly, that person hated Charlie Kirk, but I think that you would be hard pressed to convince anybody that had any knowledge of Charlie and or his faith, that Charlie hated that person either. Um, I know there's a lot of anger right now. I was pretty angry yesterday. Today, honestly, I'm just trying to make sure that I'm moving in the lane that God would have me move in, and dealing with personal level issues with it, like my daughter. I reached out to her. She's away from home, and I reached out to her, and she's extremely troubled. And here's what troubled my daughter more than anything. It wasn't the assassination. Of course, that kind of got to her. She's not a huge Charlie Kirk fan. I don't know if she ever watched him in her life. I don't know. But to find out that somebody would assassinate somebody was troubling to her. But what really got to her is the celebration that seems to be going on. And that was very confusing to her, that there's people that would openly come out and were joyful that this had happened. And yeah, so that is confusing, sort of. But when you look at it in context of, it's not a battle, of left against right, or, this guy against that guy. It's a battle of good and evil, and that's how I see it. So, anyways, hey, I appreciate you watching this video, and I'll be back on the next.